Lightworkers Unite is a podcast and social show hosted by intuitive women, lightworkers, and most importantly, friends, Mayume and Manjeet. Welcome to our podcast, Lightworkers Unite, where we believe there is a lightworker within all of us.
Whether you are a medium, an educator, or a nuclear medicine technologist, there is a lightworker within you, and we have work to do.
This is a safe and sacred place where lightworkers connect, grow, and learn.
And share our light with the world.
So I've been dying to talk to you. And I was able to talk to a couple people beforehand just because I couldn't get access to you. And I've been trying to piece it together myself because really I am the interpreter. I know the message. I just need to have this deciphered on air because why not? Because it's really freaky and I'm curious. I don't know. I highly doubt that anyone else has had this experience, but I must talk to Manjeet about this. I was like, oh my God, I need an interpreter. It happened. So I was in Park City with my girlfriends for our annual girls trip. And on the last night, and I was having kind of weird, trippy stuff happen in the hotel room. I didn't want to tell the girls too much so they don't freak out, but I was having a lot of stuff going on. And it was, trying to sleep. But the last night I had a dream. I was looking in the mirror and watching myself do this. You're looking in the mirror and you're touching your forehead and stuff. And on my forehead, just to the right of my forehead, not in the center, not way to the right, but I just remember it being slightly to the right. So on purpose, I thought, oh, this is on the right side of my forehead. Right here was this little black hole. And I saw something white in it. And I reach in and I pull it out. And it is a disgusting white caterpillar larva thing. Like fat and plump, like animals would want to eat it. Right? And I was like, oh. And I just remember going, oh, shit. And I reach in and I pull another one out. There's two. And that's what I remember. I pulled two of those suckers out. And then there's something else. And I'm like, what the fuck? And, it's kind of like, you ever see Poltergeist, right? Hello, yes. People our age. Where the guy's in the mirror and he's like pulling his face apart and you can tell he can't stop. And he's like, wah! That's what I feel like. I'm like, I can't stop this. I reach into the hole and I start pulling out this nasty ass green slimy snake. And it is long as fuck. And I'm going like this and I'm pulling it, and I'm kind of screaming like, wah! Right? As I'm pulling it out and it goes. It's like a magic trick, right? The scarves that come out of the guy's sleeve or whatever. And I finally get to the end. I'm holding it and it's moving wildly, crazy, splashing some green shit everywhere. And I turn completely around and there's John. And it's almost like I knew he was there. And I yelled, help, Johnny, help me. And he was cool as a cucumber and just looking at me and says, it's going to be okay. And I'm like, excuse me, did you not just see the effing green snake that I pulled out of my fucking forehead? I'm kind of in like shock and bewilderment, like, oh my God, something's wrong. And then, he's very calm and says it's all going to be okay. And then I woke up. That was it. It was like that. So I wake up. I'm a little startled. It's in the middle of the night. And then I go back to sleep. And then I wake up in the morning as if I never had the dream. I completely had forgotten all about it. Went on with my day. And we're driving. I think we were driving to lunch. No, we were driving to the airport. And I'm in the middle of the back seat. And it all just came at me hard. I just remembered it. And I went, I got like this huge gasp. Something you're not supposed to do when people drive. And there was like, wow, what? And I'm like, sorry. I just remembered my dream. So I shared it with them. And of course, they all think I'm fucking crazy, which kind of makes me think that I am sometimes, I swear. But I know that there's meaning to this. And I've let it sit and simmer. I chatted with my girlfriend, Julie, about it in depth, deep detail. I tried to share it with John. To say, what do you think? And he looked at me like I had three heads. He's like, I have no words. I have no clue. I can't help you. He goes, that's fucking crazy. That's nuts. And I'm like, I know, but there's meaning. And he goes, I don't know what that means at all. You're going to have to ask your friends.
I'm out.
Yeah,
I'm out.
So
Wow. I'm making notes, by the way.
I know
That's
you
why I'm
are. I know you
looking.
are.
I know
So
you can
here's what
tell.
I just want to share what I have so far
Okay.
from what I've sat and
Okay. Do you want me
kind
to
of
maybe
meditated.
do you want me to tell
Should
you
I not give
first?
you?
Well, I'm wondering
Yes.
because then
That's
we
a great
can
idea.
see if
Compare.
if there's something because I have not heard this yet and I've got like so many hits here.
Oh my
So
God.
I'm curious.
Give it to me, sister. You're
And then
right.
you tell me if this
Yes.
resonates, okay?
You're
Because we
absolutely
haven't
right.
actually been together in a little
No,
while
I
either.
know.
So there's I think a couple other things that are happening behind the scenes for you that
Let's go.
I
Do you mind
okay.
doing this?
No,
Sorry,
I
everyone. I hope everyone's okay with because it's kind of fascinating. So I thought maybe people might be interested to hear what shit like this
yes.
means. Anyway,
Okay. So I'm gonna just do popcorn style. What came up for me?
okay,
What
go.
what what are the things? And then at the end, maybe you could tell me what you think. Does
You
that
got
sound
it.
good?
Yep.
Okay. So you had two larvae and then a
Yeah.
green snake, a big green snake. And you have three children, one leaving the nest. So
Ah.
that was my first hit is that you have this beautiful green snake, right? That's leaving the house. And then you have these two still larvae that are in your home, right? So there's something about these three, the three kids, but also snakes, transformation, right?
Right.
They're completely about transformation.
Yes.
I have so much stuff here.
Oh.
So I was saying like the two larvae are kind of like these little pupae still, right, in your life that
Correct.
are under your in your realm. And then you've got this beautiful Melina, right? That's just like coming out of herself, cut, bigger than life. And she's green, right? So this is all about self love and transformation for her. Like you're seeing this from her, that she's in this really transformative place. Um, so that's one version of the
Yeah.
story. Um, the green also is heart, right? Self compassion and transformation for you. So it feels like there's three stories. One of them is being born, and then there's two more coming. You
Huh.
know, two more stories. So three stories that are ready to come out of the universe, out of your out of your soul, that are ready to be born. And one of them is coming to life. And it can feel scary and it can feel a little bit overwhelming and a bit terrifying. But the transformation has to happen and it's really, really good. Because that's the
Okay.
energy I get is really good.
Uh huh.
Because as soon as I saw the snake, I saw Kuan Yin. Kuan Yin, the goddess of compassion.
Of compassion.
And
Okay.
she's sitting on a jade snake, dragon snake.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dragon.
So
Okay.
she is really strong with you right now
Okay.
about self compassion and healing and strength. Um, but this part's directed a lot of compassion for yourself right now and strength, belief in yourself and forgiveness. She's like that energy, but
Yeah.
she's coming forward with this snake, you know, on this journey. And then I saw your mom. So transformation with her, transition for her.
Yeah.
And Kuan Yin is with you with
Okay.
that. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. I love
Okay.
it.
And then Johnny, right, is like, no, this is not, it's okay. Like you got this. It's okay. Big changes, right?
Yeah.
And during that, he's like this really like
Wavering.
wavering force, the anchoring. Like, come on, man. We know
Yeah.
this. This is we know this. We got this. We'll do this. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. It, anything else?
Um,
I can't tell by your face.
I know it's really interesting because
Isn't it?
it does feel like you're releasing something big into the world that feels like it might be a bit scary. And but this snake is got a really good energy to me. It feels strong. It feels
Oh,
like,
it was whipping around almost like an eel. Like it
wow.
had, yeah, it was whipping around very strongly in my
Okay.
hand. That's what I remember, like
And
having to
it's,
hold on to it.
yeah, it's like, let me free.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah,
It's time to let it all free. Let it all out. Yeah,
yeah.
it wants to
Interesting.
come out. Okay. So that those are the
Interesting.
basics.
I love
It
it.
might be
Oh,
totally
thank you.
different than what you're thinking.
A lot of things are very similar. Um,
Mm,
well, the John part, without a doubt. Well, one, he was behind me, so that signified he's got my back, right? He's in
yes.
support of me. When someone he stands behind me in this, and I knew he was there. That's how. I mean, when I turned, I knew he was there, and I was like, "Help
Oh,
me!"
yes.
And he wasn't doing anything, and he was just so calm and just everything's going to be okay. And I just remember being frantic, like, do you see this?
Oh
What I
my
just
gosh.
pulled out of my head. And
Yeah.
that was the other thing too that I thought was that stood out for me was it came out of my head. It didn't
Mhm.
come out of my mouth, my belly button, or any other hole, right? It came out of, I'm just going to say, it came out of a hole that showed up
Yes.
on my forehead, and it wasn't the third eye because it was to the right. And so
Mm.
I thought, right brain, right, is what I immediately went to. I'm like, all right, so this shit's coming out of my right brain. And what do they signify? So the caterpillar larva, like you said, larvae, is a butterfly metamorphosis, right? And then the snake I immediately felt was rebirth, shredding of old skin. Not
Hmm.
necessarily bad, and I do attribute snakes to even medical because of the
Yeah.
cardusis. Is that how you
Yeah.
say it?
They're
Okay.
the yes.
Yes, right. So it, but because it was green and slimy and scary and whipping around like wildly, it was scary shit. And then when I woke up, I thought, oh my God, I have a tapeworm or parasites inside me.
Oh
That was the first thing. I was like, oh, I have shit inside of me. And then I
no.
calmed down and woke up. And then I thought, no, no, no. This is all symbolic. It's spiritual, and spirit is trying to tell me something. What's the message? But it was, at first, I had nothing, like, other than the John, other than shedding of the skin. You know, I was so focused on the snake, but I thought two little larvae is very interesting to me. Two little butterflies and a snake.
Mhm.
So when you brought up my daughters, I thought, holy shit, that's really interesting. I didn't even think about that because Amanda and Dana are similar in that they're home right now, and
Yeah.
they are different. Melina stands out. She's got darker hair, darker skin. She's a bigger, stronger build, and she's very dynamic and forthright and speaks her truth. And even though she's already left the nest, she's back for the summer. And all you other
Yeah.
parents who have experienced this before, it's hard on everyone when that kid comes back. I'm just gonna
Yes.
say it's hard on
That's a
everyone.
known fact. Yes.
Woo hoo! And so right now,
Mm,
yeah, she's a little slimy, a little,
okay.
fight, fight,
Yeah.
fight, fight. So that is very interesting to me. That is very, of course, then
Mm,
if that is the symbol or representation, then what do I do with that information? How do I help the snake who's transforming and shedding skin, and but is also quite angry about it all, and she does need to practice more self-love and self-compassion because she beats herself up with negative talk, and
mm.
then and her anger shows up,
Oh,
a little bit
yeah.
because of the damn butterflies that she compares herself to. I
Oh,
mean, that's
yeah.
very true. So that
That's why
resonates with me.
I
That
love
part.
that. I think that's why Kuan Yin is coming through,
Mm-hmm.
because
Yeah.
she is the goddess of, she is true embodiment of compassion, and it's like self-compassion and
Mm-hmm.
compassion for others. So she might be a really powerful connector, to bring her back into herself, Um,
That's a good
she is
idea.
really the antithesis of like negative talk, Kuan Yin is just pure love and
Well, and
compassion.
that's
Yeah.
and that's the next thing because you gave, a couple scenarios, and I really felt like the snake was a representation of my releasing of shit and my
Mm,
transformation and my because I'm also trying to shed new skin, trying to shed weight. I
yes.
had all of that release of my father's murder. So even though that's been a, like 3 years now, it just feels like maybe it's starting to finally leave my body, leave my
Oh,
mind,
yeah.
and how I think of it and her. And I could see that snake representing all that
I
weird
love it.
stuff, right?
Yeah.
But then I didn't know what the two little larvae.
Oh, so
And they were
I,
cute and white, but I mean,
yeah,
still, I'm sorry, larva is just not cute. But it was,
yeah.
I knew they were caterpillars.
Wow. So, yeah, this is the third thing. There's just
Yeah,
so many like
I
layers
know.
here
Yeah.
because it feels like the right side, it's your dad. It's his messaging for your book. It's
Mm,
that's the story that you're releasing the
that real.
green, the
Yeah,
story of the pain, right? And the overwhelm. And he's divinely helping you with this, right? I feel that. And that
me
it's on the
too.
right side coming from the universe. That's why it came from your head. Because I
Right?
feel like it's not really your words. Some of it is not gonna, you're gonna be rereading
Channeling.
some of these chapters and going, where the fuck did I get that from? And it's
Yeah,
him. Yeah. It's
yeah.
it's that's the right,
And
the
it is right.
spiritual.
The right side's masculine, paternal,
It feels like
absolutely.
him. Yeah,
Yeah.
his energy. But and so when I look at it from like that perspective, it feels like three books, right? There's three stories that you have yet to, and this one is hard. It's
Yeah.
slippery. It's tough,
Slimy.
but
It's
it's
gross.
necessary.
Yeah.
It feels like Kuan Yin is wrapping you up and your dad is wrapping you up in this story. And this book is going to be fucking amazing,
Oh,
Mayum,
thank you.
because it's the truth. It's sacred truth. And sometimes it doesn't come out fucking like rainbows. It can be
Oh,
really hard. It can be
yeah.
scary and
Yeah.
slimy, and and it has been a journey for you, right?
I know. Yeah.
To
Right.
write it. So
Yeah.
that to me was like kind of
Forever.
like that green snake was like just the release also of this book, that
And how
this
long
story.
it was and how long it's taking because it keeps
Yeah.
changing. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Right? Yeah, transforming, changing,
Yeah.
but it's coming. It's
Yeah.
like you're really pulling it out
Yes.
and saying, I see you. I am ready. I release all of the judgment and doubt that I have now. And I fully embrace the fact that this is divinely guided
Yeah.
by my father, with
Yeah.
Kuan Yin, these beautiful spiritual guides of yours. Gabriel's there. Like I feel like all these, I don't know why Gabriel came
Well,
in.
Archangel Gabriel is the archangel of communication.
Oh, okay,
And so
that's
he
why.
helps people write their books and market them. I mean, he
Jesus.
publishes. Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Seriously. Yeah.
Yeah, I see him right here. I don't know these, I don't know these
I
angels,
know. That's what I
but
love that. I
that
love
it
that.
just was very clear. I'm
I call
Gabriel.
upon him to help me write the book. That's the thing.
Jesus. What?
Yeah.
I
Do
mean,
you
not
love that?
Jesus, Gabriel. Oh, that's so interesting. Oh, wow, I got like
No,
chills because
I
it was
love
very
that.
clear.
I love
Okay.
see I love the archangel speaking to you, through you to
Oh,
me.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they know that's your language. It's not
Yes.
mine.
I
So
know.
that's why it's so cool. There's
Yeah.
another one with the R, Raphael. Is that the one?
Yes.
So maybe
Yeah.
that is part of the heal. Is that?
He vibrates the color of green, and he and I have been working in healing, not just for myself, but for my clients and
Oh,
people
okay.
who need
That's
healing. Yes, Raphael.
R. He's coming forward too. He's like, come on, then you're gonna call him out. I'm coming up, bitches.
Uh huh.
So Raphael's right forward now. He's
Yeah.
coming forward to say, no, no, I'm helping too. And he's kind of like, can you tell me if this makes any sense? Because I don't do that very often. So Raphael has like the snakes.
Holy fucking shit! Yes, he does. Oh my god!
Okay,
Wait, I'm
okay.
gonna go. I have a
Oh,
statue of him.
okay. She's coming back. She's got a shocked look on her face. I'm not sure what's going on, but she
Shit!
left the room.
Holy
But she
shit!
will be back.
Can you hear me? Oh
Stay
my
tuned.
god! This is
What is
Raphael.
happening?
Look at what he's holding. Do you
Oh,
see that?
fuck me.
He's
Wow.
got,
The
look at
snake.
the snake.
Okay. Wow.
Oh
That's
my
so
God.
cool. Okay.
With
Wow.
around the staff,
The
around,
staff.
it's like if you can
That's the
see the
snake.
face. Can you see the face right
Yes.
here?
Oh,
Oh
I've
my
got
God.
super chills. Okay.
Me
Wow.
too. And I didn't piece it together with Raphael. The green I knew was the heart chakra. I knew it was love. I knew it was all that self compassion.
Wow.
Fuck, there you are. Thank you. That's why
Wow.
he's like, Mayum,
Raphael. Oh,
you
he's
forgot about
so
me.
yeah. No, the other one came in and
Yeah.
was like, "Oh, Gabrielle's there." Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then Raphael, the R, I didn't know the name though because he just said I could see the R on his chest, and he just came right forward and he was like, "No, no, no. What about me? Come on, bitches. No, no, I'm doing this." So
Yes,
the
he's
it's
doing
the
it.
healing.
It's the
Okay.
healing.
Oh, and you've been working with him then
I have been for
with the
so long.
oh wow,
For
wow.
so long.
So that is like powerful
Yeah.
symbolism
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
he is with you
Oh
and
yeah. And
showing you.
yeah. And not until now, when you said he's showing the serpent or the snake, that I realized I have a statue that I look at with him with the
Wow.
snake around the
Holy
sword.
shit. I can't believe that. But you know what I love about that? What I really hear him saying is actually this energy is androgynous. It's not he. It's a they. You know, it's very
Yes, correct.
masculine and feminine. Do you get that too from
Yes. Yes,
Raphael?
when Raphael shows up for
It's
me though, he's very masculine.
oh, okay.
I on purpose for me, he is. And he
Okay.
is masculine in the statue. But yes,
Okay.
he can come as both. Whoops.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, I feel him very like androgynous, you know, maybe
Yeah.
that's my interpretation, but I started with he because it's like you'll know him. That's what she knows me, he says.
Yeah.
You know, he knows me. But
Yep.
what he's saying to me now is with the staff is that you can, even though these things that we're pulling out, right? These things that we're looking at, the things we're healing, they can feel chaotic and scary, slimy, squiggly, but you actually have the power to calm it, tame it, and make it your power. That's what he does with the staff, right?
Yes.
So it's saying, like, he's saying, no, 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 you actually, I know it's coming out like this, a little bit scary, a little bit chaotic, it's going to feel a little weird, you know, but you actually have the power to wield this eel, this snake, this
Yeah,
scary
this
feeling. Yeah.
serpent. That makes sense. Yeah. And I was holding it right in the middle, like, and it was so,
Oh,
and
wow.
while it was wiggling, and I was just like, yeah, help me. I was like,
Help
help.
me. And Johnny's like, good girl, you got this. I'm
Just
out. I'm
pull this
out.
out of my brain. Like, what the
Yes.
actual F? So I love that he showed up. Yes. And
Oh,
Gabriel, yeah,
wow.
I've been asking Gabriel to help me with my book, which he's the one to call upon. He's the one to call upon, by the way, if you are taking any exams or tests or anything like that, you call upon him. He helps you with that. So Archangel Raphael
Wow.
was in my sacred circle a couple months ago when we did body healing. He showed up. I mean, I worked
Yeah.
with him for a
Oh,
long time,
wow.
for years,
Wow. Yeah. Oh, it's so,
and I've asked him to help
I
me
love it.
with my healing. So yeah, that's
Oh my
perfect.
gosh. That's totally
So thank
amazing.
you.
Yeah,
I
you
didn't
came
even
in.
think about him until he showed up through you. So this is awesome.
Oh,
Yeah.
bless her.
He's
Bless
probably like,
him.
I've been trying to tell me this whole time, but I was
Oh,
so, I, sometimes when it's your own shit, you can't, I
yeah.
couldn't discern, I couldn't decipher. I was like, what is
Yeah.
this? Yeah,
When I think
thank
when
you.
our angels and our guides, they want to talk to us, they do talk to us in our dreams, right? But there is only this is kind of what I'm hearing them say because Metatron is coming in now for me, with you and me,
Yeah.
and he's kind of saying, you know, we only have a little bit of time in dreamland, but when you're in that theta state, that multi like theta brain state, you're they have too much. He's saying there's too much information to give you in that
Yeah.
short of a time. And
Yes.
so what they do is imagery. They
Yep.
do it in a way that is really like multi-layered so that, you know, not only will they be able to get all the information to you succinctly, but also that you'll remember it, because you won't remember a long dream, right? So they
Correct.
do it very strategically so that then Metatron's my, my multidimensional, like
Yeah.
Akashic record,
Right.
fucking
Who is also an archangel.
badass. I know.
Oh, I
And so
know.
he's coming for both of us. He's trying to help us understand, because he's the one
I
with the
love him.
hierophant for me. He's the one that explains it. Because
Yeah.
he's saying that's why it was short, and that's why it was
Yeah.
so multi-layered, because there were layers. It is your children. It
Mm-hmm.
is this healing. It is
Mm-hmm.
this
Mm-hmm.
compassion piece.
Yeah.
But it's also this really powerful messaging that you, Mayum, you have the power to harness these stories that are really scary and hard. You can do that. You can do that better than anybody. And your dad
Mm.
is there. Like, I just, it's kind of like
Yeah.
making me emotional how strong. They're all right here. They're really, really close to
Yeah.
me. And Raphael especially is like holding you, like rubbing your back, and then Gabriel's like, he's got kind of this like, I don't know what it is. Um, it's like a microphone,
Hmm.
like a bugle. No, I don't know, like a trumpet, like a something with his, like, it's like an amplifier in
Uh-huh.
his hand, but it's down on the side right now. So he's like he's getting ready to give it to you to like be
Like a bullhorn?
saying, yeah, like it feels like a trumpet, or like
Okay.
like a doo, like a microphone, like a big microphone,
Yeah.
because that's kind of part two. So he's saying, it's going to happen, and it's going to be big. Like you've got a voice, you've got these stories that are really, really hard to process and talk about, but you can, and you will, and you are. So,
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Thank you. Thank you, my friend. I hope no one minds it.
oh,
We did this on air, but I really, really needed that. I was dying to talk to you
good.
just to kind of piece it together,
I
I
hope
mean,
it
there's
helps,
just
and
so many, yes.
it matches with what you were thinking as well.
Yes,
It,
except for
it
the daughters thing didn't come up. I felt it was for me, things that were coming out of my head, my thoughts, that things that I'm dealing with is what yes. I didn't have the daughters, but that makes sense too.
awesome.
Yeah, yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Did
Thank
that
you.
serve you, my sister?
Yes, it did, my sister. It absolutely
Oh
served me. You're the best. Thank you. So,
my
again,
gosh.
dream interpretations, because I feel like I can help other people with their dreams. But man, when it comes to mine, I'm
Oh,
in it.
so
I'm in
hard.
the, it's just so hard to discern. And so I'm really grateful. Thank you. We'll move on.
Oh
I
my
don't want
gosh,
people, bore people.
anytime.
But yes, you're the
Yes.
best.
And
I
if any of
figured
you
you would
have
get
crazy
hits.
dreams,
Yeah.
yeah. Any of you have crazy dreams out there, let
Send
us
them my
know.
way.
We'll be
We
happy to
have.
give your
I
thoughts.
wanted to hear more. I know we heard from wonderful, beautiful Cheryl Blair. That's a shout out to her, right? That's am I saying her name right? Yeah.
Carrie Blair. I thought that was Carrie that had the comment on our. Let's
It
look
was.
really quick,
Oh, was it
because
Carrie? And
there's
I'm getting.
two with the
There's two.
same,
There's a Carrie and a Cheryl Blair. I'm
with the
so
last
sorry.
name. Yeah.
Oh gosh, on our Instagram.
About the decluttering.
Yes. Oh,
Does
I'm so
that?
sorry. I thought that was Cheryl. My mistake. My mistake. So
Yay!
yes. Okay.
Yeah,
So I
that's.
wanted to shout
Oh,
out. So
because it
thank
is.
you.
It does say C Blair,
Oh, that's
so
why.
that's probably why. But yeah, it's
That's
sweet
exactly why. Okay. I'm
Carrie.
so
Yes.
sorry,
Oh, that's
Carrie.
okay.
Yes,
Um,
yes, yes.
fun
I see
stuff.
that. I loved, thank you for, reaching out and sharing because that was awesome.
Oh man.
And I just was hoping we'd get more feedback, more people wanting to ask questions because we're going to start doing readings. I think summertime's a great time to do this, to kind of
Oh
step it
yeah.
out and connect with our listeners
Yes, I
one
love
on one.
it.
Yes. And just look at the way you did that for me. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it.
Oh
Thank you
my
so much.
gosh. Yeah. And right, we love doing that. I think
Love doing
because when you're in it, you don't know. You just don't know. Like
it.
you
Agreed.
just, it's overwhelming with emotion, and then it's so layered that it is so hard to unpack. You might get pieces of it, but then it's funny because you're like, there are other pieces here that I'm missing. You
Yeah.
could feel that, right? Like there's
Yes.
something I'm missing here. And then sure as shit, uh,
I just love how you made the connection and connected the dots with Archangel Raphael and his staff with the serpent wrapped around it. I mean, I love that he came
oh,
in like, excuse me,
uh,
don't forget about me. Hello, Mayum. I've been working with you. And
oh
I
my
forgot
God.
that the statue had, because I don't always associate a snake with him, but this statue
He
happens to
showed
have
them to
one.
me just like this. He showed me the snakes, and I was like, "What?
What?
I don't know why you have
Isn't that
snakes."
crazy?
So that's
Oh,
cool. That
shit. So it's a, I'm just looking at the statue. It's his staff. This is a
oh,
snake. Look at that.
oh, okay, yeah.
And it's wrapped around the sword that has
Oh, so there are
this.
two.
There's
That's why you're
two.
showing me two of them,
Holy
motherfucker.
shit,
Okay,
motherfucker.
both hands. He had both hands. Oh, he has them in both hands.
That's what I'm
In your set.
saying. Do you see that? Do you see? He's got this one. I can't. We'll post this on our Instagram, you guys. It's unfucking
Oh my
believable.
God, I'm
I
dying.
wait.
I
I've
love it.
had this statue for months now, and I had no idea that this staff was a snake.
It's a snake.
I had no
Wow.
idea till right now when you said both hands. I was like,
He's
what?
told, yeah. Oh my
He
God.
is.
That is so
Oh my
funny.
God.
Thank
So
you,
he knows that I
Raphael.
have
Thank you.
this. Look, thank you, Raphael.
Oh,
Do you know
wow.
how good that feels to have validation that he's working with me? Even though I see
Really?
him and feel him and know it, to just to have him come through someone else to validate that he's
Really?
been working. Yes.
Why? Why is
That
that
it
so
just
important to you? Why? Tell me why that feels.
uh it just feels so good. It's just nice to have validation. Just like for you, having the validation that what you're seeing is like, oh my God, now you know what I mean. It
Oh,
just is
yeah.
a nice validation, even though, like I said, I know I work with him. I know he comes with me in cord cuttings. He helps me heal people and their chakras. And I've called upon him so many times. And
Mm.
it, so now the green snake totally makes sense, right? But
Oh my God.
I just, and I've had this statue that I loved, that I saw it and I'm like, I was drawn to it. I see it every night. It's in front of me when I go to sleep and when I wake up. So how often have I looked at it and not gone into the small details to realize that there was a serpent in both hands? I didn't
Mm.
know that.
I love that.
I mean, I
And
knew
I love,
one. I knew one. I did not
yeah,
know about the other
the
one.
other. Yeah. I think that's really fascinating because he keeps doing this like with his hands forward, right? Like he kept doing
Yeah.
that, like, with both snakes in
Both.
both hands, like this. And so I was like, okay, this is really bizarre. But I think what's also really cool is that one of the like he's kind of wielding both of them into something that is transfer like he's transformed that energy into the sword
Yeah.
protection, the walking
This,
stick,
yes.
the
Right.
yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
He's got a very he yes, he's got a very strong wizard like energy to me.
Agreed.
Okay,
Agreed.
that's very
Agreed. It's
like
probably why I'm so
wizardy.
connected. Yeah, yeah,
Okay. Yeah, he
yeah.
feels almost like Gandalfish, like that like very calm, but like I'm a fucking badass.
Well,
But
it's because he's a healer. I always think of him as a
mm,
healer with like a brown cloak
cloak.
or green
Yeah,
cloak or like it's a brown green. I don't know. I always picture
moss
him.
color. Yeah.
Yes, moss, and I
Yeah.
picture him coming from outside like an alchemist healer, or like a
Yeah. Oh
wizard or
my God.
witch would be out
That's
in the.
hilarious. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly
Huh.
how I see him.
I'm
Because
so happy right now. That's just so. I'm not
I love
joking.
it.
It's
I'm so
so
happy.
weird that, as you were
Oh,
saying, it all made sense with my statue. So thank you, Archangel
yay.
Raphael, Archangel Gabriel.
Oh my
Thank you,
goodness.
thank
Yeah,
you.
they are there with you. That dream was very, very powerful. Yeah,
It
I
it
just,
it was not like anything. It'll be with me for the rest of my life. You know how some dreams stay with you for the rest of your life.
yes,
Yeah, that one.
yes.
So
That's
then
so true.
the little butterfly caterpillars. So like you said, either more to come, right? I
Yes.
pulled those out first. So that's why I was
Mhm.
like, oh, at first I thought, oh, I have some nasty shit. in my head that is finally coming out, right? And if
Yeah.
I didn't pull the other two, they were going to turn it into some nasty shit. Because at first I was like, oh my god, what the fuck? Maybe those are going to turn into these long ass slimy snakes. So, but and then I got them out, I released them before it started to grow, right? But so
Mm.
it's interesting that the snake completely makes sense with the healing
Wow.
coming out here, right
Yeah. And
there.
the story of your father's murder,
Yeah,
it really is fucking hard
yeah,
stuff. It is
it is.
dark and it's
It is.
it is really tough. And I just it but there you have transformed that into, you've healed that with Raphael, with, into something that you can use to in your power. Like you have transformed that horrible fucking situation into being this profoundly powerful medium helping. How many people have you helped, me? How many people,
Definitely.
honestly? I mean, your fucking awakening, the way you have like healed people in some of these dark and scary times. I mean,
Yeah,
he's right with you. And it's sometimes a dark place that you're
yeah,
pulling out of your head. You're pulling
that's
out a
right.
dark story and transforming it into something beautiful and powerful where people are going to grow from it.
And
Talk about
healing. Yeah.
this is the absolute pinnacle of flipping the script.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
you.
Right. Yeah. That's
Yes,
true.
that's you,
Turning
my
around. Yeah.
sister.
That crazy shit, man.
Oh, I
Wow.
have so much love for you right
Thank
now.
you.
My heart is
And right
just,
back at you. Thank you so much.
you're
Yeah, I'm really
shining.
grateful for the dream. At the time, I was not. I was like, what the hell? I'm dying. It was all kinds of things. And then I was
Oh,
like, okay. And snakes could have a bad rap. I
yeah,
mean,
they
typically
do.
in the Bible, right? But I knew that it wasn't bad. I just thought, what is it? What
Yeah,
is it that is coming out of me? So that's, and I did feel like it was my shit, my stuff
yeah.
coming out. So that's cool. Thank you.
I love it.
You're the
Well,
best. Love you.
fuck yeah, we
Yeah.
did that.
Yeah, we did that.
There's an
Woohoo.
episode in
Thank
the
you.
bag.
Yeah. Boom. In the what bag? No, just don't say
Oh.
it. Don't say that. I'll have to bleep you. Thank you,
Ooh.
everyone, for letting me take up some airtime for that because I just
Oh,
thought it would be really interesting in case someone else was dreaming of snakes, or what'd you call it?
yeah.
Larvae. No, you call them. What'd you call them? I
I
know the
call them
little
pupae, but I don't know
pupae.
why.
Yes, because I
I
think
mean,
that's
it's just a
correct.
stage
Yeah,
in
yeah,
transformation, right? It's
yeah,
one of the, yeah, but for some
yeah.
reason it felt like a pupae, not
Yeah.
quite a larva.
Larva. Not
Larva,
quite.
larvae.
Yeah.
It felt bigger than that. Isn't
It
the
was
pupae
bigger.
bigger?
Yes, you're
Oh,
right.
okay. It was bigger. I think the pupae are bigger than a larvae. I'm gonna have to. It's
I wouldn't have known
been
the.
a
I
long
mean,
time.
it's been a long time. I recognize the word pupae now, and I agree with you. But at the time, it was just larva coming out of my head, so which was gross. Just saying. Uh,
I gotta look at the stages. Hold on. This is
I
driving me
know, but
fucking
they
crazy.
were fat, juicy, white caterpillars. They were
Wow.
white. Yeah.
Wow.
So
Okay,
yeah,
yes. I'm sorry. I have to look at this really
I
quick.
know. Because now I'm
It
like,
is, yeah, it goes from egg to larvae to pupae.
okay, nice.
Yeah.
So the
Okay. So it was
pupae.
bigger.
So are they ever white? Well, I'm just wondering if the white
Oh,
is
yeah. They
okay.
can be. Yeah.
They can be. Oh,
Yeah.
so
They can
wild.
be white. And then there's some yellow one. I mean, depending on the
Uh,
species, right? I guess.
right.
Look at me. I'm an
I
entomologist
love
right
it.
now in this situation. It was so funny because they showed me pupae and
Hmm.
like the word, that was it's so interesting how spirit talks to us,
I
isn't
know.
it? Like
It's all
I
different. Yeah.
just love that they do that. They come to you, I mean, in a way that you're going to understand it.
Right.
Like because I don't understand angels as much. Like
Right.
I don't have that those that I mean, I do. I love the archangels, but I didn't grow up with them. I don't know them. I don't. I don't work with them at all, really. But with you, they just come fast and furious. So then I'm like, oh, somebody starts with an R. I'm not, I don't know,
I know, I
Raphael.
love that.
And then
Yeah.
it's yeah.
So even in your
It's so weird.
readings, in your Akashic records, they don't show up
Sometimes they do. Yeah,
depending on the
sometimes.
sitter.
Yeah, and mostly they're Akashic guides, actually. So
Hmm.
they have their own Akashic readers that come forward for you. And
Hmm.
so you have your own um Akashic guides that sometimes they won't have ever, when we're doing a reading, folks might not ever know who they are. Like they've
Right.
never met them before because they haven't really gone to the Akasha before. So they have their
Right.
own kind of realm in that eighth and ninth dimension,
Interesting.
and sometimes they are archangels, but it's a lot of times Metatron for me
Yep.
will bring
Yeah.
them in,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
every now and again I'll see Michael there
Yeah.
and
Why, Michael?
some of the others, but I'll have to ask their names because I don't know them.
Yeah, it's okay.
I know. But I
Oh,
see
that's awesome.
a lot of goddess energy too there,
Yeah, you do.
because we work with them a lot. So I really feel, and I think that's why Kanyen came through right away,
Yeah, that makes
you
sense.
know, was like this really strong talk about compassion, right? That your story in particular, this story that you are giving birth to, that is slimy and sticky and hard, right? It it did require a lot of compassion for
Yeah.
yourself, for her, for this murderer, for
Yeah.
your father, like everybody in your life, in your family, even your family now to this
Yeah.
day require that from you, right?
Right.
And
Yeah.
so
So
she's really
interesting.
strong. So yeah, it's weird how I just think it's awesome because when you do readings too, like you'll see shit that you're like, wow,
I don't
what's
know who
that?
that is.
Who are
I
you? Do you get that a
Oh
lot?
my God.
Yeah.
Yes. I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I do.
Yeah.
Sorry, I have to fan myself. I'm
Oh,
so hot.
I know,
Woo,
sweetie. Wow. Well,
sweating.
this was amazing.
Same
I
here.
love, love, love you. And I
I
love
love you
this.
more.
And I
Thank you so
can't
much
wait
for
to.
doing that. Sorry that we took up an episode on this, but I think it's
No,
kind of
this was
cool. It's
fine. I
good
think
stuff.
people
Good
will
job.
enjoy it.
Yes, and to see how you coach and how you bring your intuitive coaching in
Shit.
and dream interpretation, I just knew I needed help. And
Mm.
this is and so yes, all of it is kind of along the same lines, but more so and in so many different layers. Thank you. I love you so
Oh,
much.
I love you. I love
All
you.
right.
I will
Until
see you
next
all. We'll see you
time.
soon.
Okay.
Namaste.
Namaste. Bye.
Mwah.